Hello there, I'm Vince Maniaci of Box Office Maniacs. What I'm about to show you here is a little discussion that David, my co-host, and I had during our recent review of Avengers Age of Ultron. I decided to show this here because one of the things that David and I do with Box Office Maniacs is we try our hardest not to have any spoilers in our reviews. And we try to maintain that as much as possible. Sometimes we have to give a little bit away, but we don't want to give away too much. And we always want to leave it up to you guys to actually go and see the film and make your own opinions and own decisions about it. And one other reason I decided to leave this out of the review was because if I had left it in there, it probably would have been another 14 minutes long. So, to spare you that time, I decided to do it this way. And it's an interesting discussion, and other than me editing it together, it's uncut. This is everything that we said at that moment. So without further ado, here it is.
Before we get too far into this, I want to say something. There's a big controversy surrounding this film right now, and I want to get into it during this review, but it is a little spoilerish. It does have some spoilers to it, so I'm not going to get into it until after we give our review. And then once we're done with our review, then I will get into the controversy in case somebody doesn't want to be spoiled by part of the film.
That's a good idea.
Okay, now we're going to come to the spoilers here. And it's not like a major plot spoiler. And so if you want to stick around and listen to what I have to say, and I'm going to ask Vince what he thinks of this, because he doesn't know anything about this yet, because he doesn't participate in the thing called the internet.
More than I have to.
So I'm going to, because this is going to be new to Vince, so I'm going to ask him a question, and it's going to be fun. But if you don't want spoilers, leave now and subscribe to our site. Hope you enjoy our stuff that we're doing here. And for the rest of you, stay around, because here comes a spoiler for the film. Are you ready?
Okay.
So you're ready then?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
The spoiler is, okay, the scene between Black Widow and the Hulk, and she's talking to him, and they kind of have like a little romantic relationship going on in this film. And he basically tells her there's no way it can happen. You know, remember that? Where he's like, I'm a monster. There's no way that you and I could ever be together.
Yeah.
So she starts explaining to him that, you know, who she was and where her little bit of her backstory, where she came from. And she says, you know, that she's a monster too, and just like he is, because she joined whatever squad it was that she joined. And then she couldn't get pregnant because of her becoming an assassin. They took that away from her. And she's gone off and killed all these people. And you remember all that?
Yeah.
And she's basically describing herself as a monster as well, you know, because of her actions and what she's done in the past, right?
Yeah.
So from that conversation that she told the Hulk, what did you gather out of that?
What do you mean? What did I gather?
I mean, what did you gather out of that conversation that she had? By her telling him that she was a monster just as well.
That she could never, because he was talking, that she could never be with him because if he wanted a family life, or because he was talking about kids and marriage and family and having a life like Hawkeye's, you know, he couldn't do that because he's the Hulk. And she was just saying, or relating to him and relaying to him that she's a monster and for a different reason, and she can't have kids either.
So, okay, what you're saying is that she's a monster because she can't have kids?
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, that's what she was saying, was that she doesn't see herself. She's not able to have kids anyway, so it doesn't really matter to her. that she would still love him. She would still care for him. She'd still want to be with him, and try to make a life with him. But if he wanted to have kids anyway, she wouldn't be able to do it.
But she was describing herself as a monster because of all the people that she's gone and assassinated, and all the people that she's killed, and all the bad things she's done in her life. That is why she basically was calling herself a monster.
Okay, so where are you going with all this?
Well, the controversy is that all these people are just tearing into Joss Whedon, and they said that the whole conversation that she had with the Hulk, and she called herself a monster, was because she couldn't get pregnant. So any woman who could not become pregnant is a monster because she can't have kids.
That's just freaking stupid.
That is, everybody's talking about it. It's all over the internet, Vince. And Joss Whedon got sick of it, and he even quit Twitter because he didn't want to listen to all these people just digging into him, calling him a horrible writer, a horrible director. He's awful for saying that in the film, putting that in the movie. All that. This is where all this is coming from.
That's dumb.
And when I watched the film, I mean, that didn't even, the whole conversation, like I just said, with her saying she didn't have kids, but then she's telling him she's a monster because she's an assassin. I mean, she's done terrible things in her life, and she's calling herself a monster because of that. It has nothing to do with her not having kids is the reason she's calling herself a monster.
Yeah, I got that. I mean, that's what I got out of it. I didn't get anything more from it.
Yeah, but everybody is saying that the reason she said she's a monster is because she can't have kids. That makes her a monster.
Well, I don't think no, that's not what she was saying. She was saying she was a monster because of the terrible things she's done, not because she can't have kids.
Well, I realize that. I'm telling you how stupid people are, Vince, and this is what the big controversy about this film. Everybody's tearing it apart because of this.
Well, see, I read a headline that Joss Whedon was upset with Disney, or I think more Disney than Marvel, but he was upset with the studio because they wanted. I'm gathering that it was something where they wanted him to do. You know me talking about all the stuff that they put in there. Okay, basically that's it. They wanted him to do this and do this and do this, and he wasn't. He didn't want to do this or do that, and they basically tied his hands, and he had to do it.
And also, I believe there's 30 minutes of extra footage in this film that he was forced to cut out too.
Huh, okay.
So you were talking about it feeling a little rushed, is because maybe he had to cut out a lot of the film because of the length of it. So maybe, hopefully, if the DVD comes out, and if he puts that stuff back in there, it won't feel rushed anymore.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's probably it. Because, well, I was also referring to it being rushed because, I mean, the first one only came out, 2 years ago? Wasn't it? It was like 2 years ago that the first one came out?
Like 3 years ago.
Well, I mean, it just seems like it just felt like it was rushed to put together, and maybe that's it. Maybe there were parts that were clipped and cut and that, and it just seemed like because he cut out maybe what he cut out he had to make up for, and that's why there's so much. Maybe that's why I got the feeling that there's so much in this film.
I don't know, but I just wanted to get that out there about the stupidness and the idioticness of some people out there in the world who, just because somebody says something in a film and they can't, they're too stupid to realize what the scene is supposed to be, but they're making it into something that it wasn't. And I just thought that was the most ridiculous, stupidest thing there was.
No, I didn't get that idea from that scene at all. I mean, I got it. I got what she was trying to say. That she just didn't see them having a life together, or he didn't see them having a life together, and she was trying to make him see that it could be possible.
So anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that people in the world are stupid. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, you're talking to our fans, Dave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, our fans obviously aren't the ones who pointed that out, Vince. These are the other people. These are the other 4 people, that watch the show.
So, for the rest of humanity out there that enjoys our reviews and our movie reviews and us coming on here and describing and talking about stuff that was not even really movie related, but for all that stuff, click down there on the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. Please do this because we really need more subscribers, because that's why we come back here and do this kind of thing.
And speaking of coming back, we'll be back in 2 more weeks when Poltergeist comes out, and then 2 more weeks after that when Mad Max Fury Road comes out. So this is going to be a very busy month for us. So hopefully you come back and stick around and subscribe.
I think Mad Max comes out first.
No, Poltergeist comes out in 2 weeks.
Oh, I thought it was Mad Max.
And then Mad Max 2 weeks after that.
Okay, but I can't wait for Mad Max.
Well, obviously.